Hey loves, Kim here, and I am back with another video. If this is your first time on my channel, I just would like to say welcome. Hi, my name is Kim. I am a Sims 4 gamer, and we are here with part 5 of the luxury estate here in Del Sol Valley. If you enjoy what you see today, please consider subscribing and be sure to click that bell, that way you never miss an upload from me. And of course, to all of my OGs that's been here for a minute, thank you all so much for coming back. So it's gonna be kind of a chill video. It's kind of late, and I don't know. Fun fact, most of my voiceovers I do at night. Oh my gosh, I don't even know why I'm talking about this right now when we should be talking about the bill, but most of my voiceovers are really late at night because I may have mentioned this before, but we are close to an airport, and this is only the really good time that it doesn't pick up a lot of the planes and a lot of the flights and things like that. So it's kind of low key. It's currently 2:10 in the morning, so dedication. I love you guys, and I'm trying to be consistent now that I'm back posting content. So I hope you guys enjoy. Just a little irrelevant tidbit, but anyway, back to the build. We are working exclusively on landscaping in the front as well as some curb appeal. I am super excited to be getting into this part because I feel like this is when this house really starts to feel like a home, when you're adding in all of the embellishments and the adornments and all of just the landscaping. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was so fun, but let me tell you, it was so tedious. When I got my raw footage from this, I had just over 11 hours of footage, and for this to be compressed down into like a 22 minute video, something like that, oh my gosh, I cut out so much, but I didn't feel bad because a lot of it was just very monotonous. Like if you've seen it one place, you kind of seen it over and over again, but that didn't take away like my enthusiasm from this video. So right now we're at the back of the lot, and I'm playing around with this debug fence. I can't even tell you a name. It's just called debug, and I like it because I feel like it gives like a really nice, strong and sturdy border around this home. So I'm just making some adjustments with the landscaping and with the power of the tool mod. Anything that doesn't line up quite right, I'm able to adjust pretty easily. So this is this the second or third part? I think this is like the second part of me using the tool mod within this mini series, and I'm having so much fun. This wasn't my first time using the tool mod. I've used it before, so fortunately, like having that trial and error before gave me like a pretty decent understanding. But oh my gosh, there's so many things that have been like changed and improved, and I'm liking the tool mod a lot more. But anyway, I'm doing some adjustments with the terrain. So what I had in my head, I was trying to be as true as possible to my inspo. If you haven't seen the inspiration to this build, it's going to be down in the description box. Definitely go ahead and check it out. But I just really wanted to be true to my inspiration. So the landscaping is just really curvy and windy, and I like it because I feel like it's a nice juxtaposition against the home, which is really like not rigid, but like very square and like straight and clean lines. So I thought that was just a nice bit of contrast. And I'm just working on this little entryway. So I decided to add in another entrance into the house from off of the kitchen, and the room that's going to be behind the kitchen is the laundry room, but I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to get ahead of myself. Now, I really, really loved just all of the little manipulation with the perfect hedge. I think the perfect hedge is actually a base game item, and just pairing that with tool mod to get like different heights and different angles and just really adjusting it to my will was so much fun. I really love this part because I feel like it really helped to build up the facade of the home. It helped to just give it like a certain stateliness and just an additional little dressing to the home. And I feel like it warmed everything up a bit. Like, although I'm using primarily green at this stage, I feel like it just added like such a warmth to the home. And yeah, like I said, just really tedious. Like, I hope this build does not break your game with all of the little hedges that I use, but it was so necessary. The little hedge fencing was not gonna quite get it, so I just had to go in with all of these individual little pieces. But yeah, I'm just doing a little bit of terrain manipulation. So I wanted like a little subtle heel just to really hide the fact that this home is sitting on a foundation and to make it look very integrated with the landscape. So yeah, as you can see, I'm just raising and I'm leveling some things, and as I'm getting towards the edge of the green hedges as well as the edge of the fencing, I'm going back in with that smoothing terrain tool just to make everything nice and like a gradual slope instead of just such a harsh slope. So now I'm going in and I'm selecting all of my hedges, and then what I'll do with the tool mod, I'm going to use the elevate tool and actually lower it down into the ground. So the hedges are going to sit just a little bit lower, and they're going to hit the terrain that I manipulated in a way where everything looks like nice and flush, and it looks like they have like a whole landscaping team coming in to maintain this home, and it was just so fun. Also, something that I did on that debug fencing, I added in a mailbox. It's one of the little flat wall mailboxes from the Snowy Escape pack, and I just put up a little sign from high school years, and I just really wanted to do like one of those fancy looking signs where it has like the big numbers next to the mailbox. So anyway, we're back to the landscaping, and I'm just adding in some terrain paint and some rocks, and I'm going to be adding in some trees. This is something that was very true to my example, and this is so much fun. It really, really was. I've never done anything like this, and I really just wanted to challenge myself with the landscaping. I really wanted to work with different elevations, and I'm having fun with the tool mod, just manipulating the rocks and making them like deeper, and like more down in the ground to like give just a different texture. And I added in this European birch tree. That is one of the primary trees that I use in the front of the home. And again, just with that perfect hedge tool, I am creating like a barrier or a partition between the porch area and the yard, for lack of a better word. This place doesn't really have a yard. I mean, it kind of does, but we'll get to it. But again, playing around with those perfect hedges, I sized them up, and in certain areas next to the trees, I'm just kind of like doing like this double perfect hedge effect, and it's going to be at a slightly higher level. You'll see what I'm talking about. But I don't know, I just feel like it just gave a nice little dressing, and just I think what I love the most about these perfect hedges is the texture, because sometimes when you're playing a game, things can kind of come off very flat, but I love that there's so much texture and there are different tones of greens to really convey the shadows and things. And I just feel like that just adds just a little bit more depth and realism to this build. Same thing with the rocks on top of the gray terrain paint. I just feel like it just gives more depth, which I really, really enjoy. And I'm going around these little tree areas with some hedges, and again, playing around with the tool mod, adjusting the levels, and just creating some really interesting shapes and textures, and just all of those bits. So yeah, we've made it to the front, and I'm creating like this little gate because I feel like a house this big, you can't just walk up to it. Like there's gonna be a gate. Now, obviously, we don't have like functional gates in The Sims 4, so I had to create them at a state of them being like ajar. But I really do like it because I can just imagine if they were closed, I don't know, you have to gain some sort of access or have like some sort of remote to get in, and I feel like that's just really, really fancy. The pieces that I use for this gate is the piece from the Get Together pack. It's called 90 Degrees, as well as the wooden slats. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say that those are from the Eco Lifestyle pack. But yeah, just again with the curb appeal, I'm adding in some windows on the front of the house. And so, oh my gosh, let me tell you guys, I kind of struggled in this part, not because of the actual build, but my game kept freezing. And there were so many times where I had to force quit my game and come back in. So I ended up taking out all of my CC, which was helpful because I was looking to get rid of my CC and just trying to find in-game alternatives for the sake of the build itself. But yeah, I had to take out all of my CC, all of my windows disappeared, so just playing around with that, but it all worked out in the end. So yeah, like I said, the European birch tree, I believe that's what it's called, that's one of the main trees that I use. I like it because it has like that stark white base, and I feel like this is something that you would see in Windenburg, but it was also what I saw on my inspiration. So I felt like this was the closest tree that I had, and I really, really like it. And also, I just expanded the front patio area. I don't really foresee it being used, but I think it'll be really nice to like embellish with plants and, you know, maybe holiday decorations and things like that. So I'm playing around with some lighting. So you may see me flipping between daytime and nighttime lighting, and I'm using the tool mod, which I really, really love, to adjust different pieces at the same time. And yeah, again, I'm just scaling some things down. You may also have seen me rising up some of those outdoor lanterns on the fence posting. I really wanted everything to look really good at night, just as much as it did during the daytime. So I added in some of those little bench seating. So those two pieces are from the Horse Ranch pack, and I want to say that planter is base game if I'm not mistaken, and the little rug in front of the main door is from Cats and Dogs. So yeah, again with my favorite piece, thousands of years old, just going in and just doing a little bit of polishing and finessing. So it's at this point where I looked at my inspiration and I was like, you know what, this bedroom is looking kind of wimpy, let me expand it some. So I'm going in and I'm just opening up that space, and I really feel like it just looks better. I don't know, I feel like before it was a little disproportionate, and this is going to give me more room in this bedroom space, as well as some of the other amenities that I have planned around this area of the house. And it's at this point where I decided to change the windows as well. So I created my own custom window for the second bedroom. It's a combination of those windows on the bottom. Those are from the high school years pack. That window is the one that your sim can sneak out of, and I'm pairing it with like this little rectangular window from the base game, and I'm just creating like a giant window. And then what I am going to do is I'm going to take, it's like the little curtain piece from the Desert Luxe pack, and I'm going to create like a little frame, and I like it. I mean, I wasn't going to do it at first, but I feel like the frame just gave it a little bit more like stateliness and the type of beefiness that it needed, especially being on the front facade of the house. And I think another reason why I am using this piece here, this is the piece from the Desert Luxe pack. Another reason why I felt the need to use it is because the walls are triple height. So having the window that close to the ground without that frame around it, I don't know, it just looked a little off in scale. And I feel like the frame just gave it just that little bit more of like size that it needed to really fill out that space well. So it's at this point where I'm just going back in with some terrain painting and just doing my best to make the trees look like they're actually planted into the ground. So of course we have to add a little bit of dirt, and I had so much fun with this. This is so cute. I am going on like the 2 circles when you first come into the property, and I'm just adding hydrangeas. I love hydrangeas. Fun fact, at our other home that we are still trying to move into, long story, but at that house I was over there maybe like a month ago, and I looked out of the bedroom window and I saw these beautiful blue hydrangeas growing right outside of our bedroom, and it's nothing that we did. They grew completely on their own and they were so pretty. So when I placed these hydrangeas here, it made me think about that. But yeah, I'm just trying to finesse it with some rocks, and again I'm just going to be manipulating the elevation with the T.O.O.L mod and just trying to make things look like they're actually sucking into the ground and make it look like it's actually growing out the earth and not just perfectly placed. I added some ceiling fans. I want to say those ceiling fans are also from the Desert Lux pack, and I'm going to repeat the same thing that I did on one side onto the other, and again just playing around with the T.O.O.L mod, adding in some terrain paint and just really trying to make this look as nice and realistic as I possibly could. But I feel like that added just a nice little touch because there is so much bare grass. In my original inspiration there was a little bit more landscaping, but I'll be honest, like I said, this was 11 hours of footage. I was just kind of like, you know what, Kim, there comes a point where good enough is good enough. And I personally felt like I got to a point where I really loved everything. And sometimes when you try to do too much, it just messes it all up. But anyway, let me know how y'all feel about that. Like when you really have a vision in your head and then you're just kind of like, okay, I've been at this all day. Like, what do I do? Like sometimes I just feel like you have to embrace good enough is good enough. I really love this little piece to the garden because it makes like this big piece of land at the front of the house accessible. So what I decided to do, I added in that little hedge arch, which is from base game, and I took out some of the little hedges and I just made a little opening. And I feel like this will be a nice little place for like your Sims to go outside if they wanted to just sit in nature but not have to go to like a park. Maybe they can like write in their personal journal or just have a little quiet moment. I wanted more reasons for your Sims to go outside. I'll be honest, when I play with my Sims sometimes, like unless I'm creating content for you guys, there's so many things in the game that I just don't do. I barely leave my house because of the loading screens. So I just wanted this to have so many things to encourage your Sims to get out and explore and just try new things. So I hope you guys enjoyed that thought and the detail. Again, I'm just going back in with some more of those outdoor lamps, and I'm adding in some of just some more fencing and things around, and I'm at the back of the lot and I'm just adjusting some things because I did make changes. So just making sure that everything makes sense and everything is like back in place. And but yeah, I kind of rambled on. Like I said, this was kind of chill. I'm just adding in some solar panels really quick. I'm still having a fire glitch. I thought maybe I just had in so much stuff that it's like breaking my lot, so I added in these solar panels. Help me if you have suggestions. But anyway, you guys, we're towards the end of the video, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here. If you enjoyed this, please let me know with a big thumbs up, and please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already, and be sure to hit that bell, that way you never miss an upload from me. But yeah, you guys, I'm hopping off here. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will talk to you in the next video.